Welcome to the Element Podcast. My name is Ashaya, and I'm super excited to bring on our guest for episode 2. It's a very special guest, and she is my sister, Ashaya. In this conversation, we get into some really good topics, and we also share some perspectives about each other that shock our brains. So make sure you stay tuned. And in the meantime, please go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think about this. Are there perspectives that you share with your siblings that they don't know about? Does this help you kind of realize your relationship with your siblings? What are the things that you took away from this? So leave down some feedback, and make sure to like and subscribe and follow along for the journey. We have some good conversations ahead. But in the meantime, here's episode 2, Ashaya in her element. Let's get it. Gang. Let's go. Actually, I don't want these over.
Why not? Those are cute.
Oh, they're adorable. From Christmas.
Super cute.
Those are my pajamas.
Should have wore fun socks.
Yeah. So, welcome to the Element Podcast, everybody. My name is Ashaya, and I'm here with a very special guest.
Aww.
Want to introduce yourself? I
hi.
kind of gave them an introduction already, but if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name's Ashaya. I'm a sister.
Yeah. So, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Let's do like a mental health check.
Okay.
So, like, given all of life right now, where are you at right now mentally? How's everything going?
Pretty good, actually. Moved back to my apartment recently, so that's been a boost, you know what I mean? I don't know, just having your own space.
Totally.
It's totally different.
Where were you before?
Parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
We were there. I was there for like 3 weeks, and it was nice to not have to like pay for food and everything. And that's why I held off on moving back so long, because I was supposed to go right after Christmas, but I waited one more week because I didn't want to go grocery shopping.
Yep.
Then moving is stressful too. So
yeah, it's a lot.
So yeah, I'm back now. So
are you like back in like routine and getting ready for school and stuff, or what's up? Where you at with
my
that?
routine started Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's still there because I'm still waking up at 10.
Really? It's not good at all.
Which is why I was late today. But you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I woke up at 7:30 yesterday, and it felt like I woke up. You know when you wake up at like 4 a.m. and your stomach hurts.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have.
Well,
you shouldn't be able to do that. Well, no. But you know when you wake up early and everything's just like
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like that, and I felt ashamed. I was like, "This is a problem."
And you said this morning at 7:30.
No, it was yesterday because I had school in the morning.
I feel that.
But yeah,
well,
it was
awesome.
stressful.
Well, yeah, I feel that.
But yeah, it's been pretty good.
Good. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to do sort of like a series with the family and just having conversations with folks. Okay. I've already dropped a couple podcasts by the time that this will drop of a couple friends. And so, you know, I really want to get into like family conversations. I feel like I have cool family, and I think people could also like, gain value from hearing conversations of brother and sister, brother and grandma, mom and dad, in some capacity. Not that I think we're like overly special or should be like the Cosby family or whatever. We're just, we're I love average. You guys. We're cool. But I think there's a lot of value that people can get from, seeing folks talk, and maybe something that,
I think that's cool.
Yeah. So like trying to, understand you, where are you like in your life right now? Like what's sort of your title? Like how would you describe this sort of phase of your life right now?
I guess it's more just like figuring out myself.
Yeah. I
guess because, between like 20 and 25, that's like pivotal. I'm growing into an adult, trying everything. But if I were to label, I guess I would just be like a working student. It would be my label, because much of my life right now is just doing school, then straight to work, and then coming home to my roommates, which is nice because they're super cool. But yeah, that's about it.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. Well, yes. I don't like how much I work and for how long I work, but I do like my job, so that kind of helps. If that makes sense.
It helps a lot.
Yeah, so
because a lot of people do not like their jobs.
Exactly.
A lot of people are like, oh, these bright lights, I'm at this desk, and then like I don't like these people, and da 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 da. So it's a blessing that if you spend a lot of time at work, at the very least you like it.
Yeah, because I like the people and everything, except for Amazon. Oh my goodness.
Shout out Bezos.
Like, bro.
Yeah.
Granted,
no,
I do have a nice Amazon job. I just don't.
It's not, you're not rocking it
as much.
Yeah. I totally understand that. Because I work there, and it was kind of like I was there for a month.
It was actually fun back then, though.
Yeah. Oh, really? So it changed a lot since I was there.
It's because like management and stuff suck right now. Like we got all new managers, and none of them are cool. It's just like
that's hard. That's really hard, but it's okay.
Yeah.
One day at a time. But I've noticed that you work a lot less now at Amazon and way more at the other spot.
Yeah, so
Is
I
that
only
intentional or?
Yeah, because if I were to work more at Amazon, I'd be doing like 12-hour days more than once a week. So I'm not doing that. So I only do one 12-hour day, and then which is Amazon usually at 8:45 till 1:45, and then going straight to the Fairmont at 2:30 to 9 o'clock.
Oh, I thought you meant like 12 hours worth of shifts at Amazon.
No.
I was trying to figure out. I was like, when have you ever been at Amazon for 12 hours straight? I don't ever remember hearing about that.
No, you could do doubles, which is only 10.
Yeah.
But I don't have the time.
Yeah.
So.
I feel that.
Yeah, I guess I do that.
Yeah.
So it's long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to only do once a week with Amazon, and then twice if I spend too much.
Yeah. If you spend too much, you gotta like recoup.
I'm trying to revamp my closet because I have a lot of statement pieces and no basics, so it's been expensive.
That makes sense. What's like something that you're eyeing right now?
Well, I got new jeans because all my jeans were Goodwill jeans, which are great, but they're also not flattering because my waist is smaller, if that makes sense. So I wear like belts and it's like clumpy. And then Reverend Bills was like, "Why do you wear these?"
That like clump up like around.
She like grabbed it and started shaking me, and I was like,
"No way!" Oh, really?
Yes, and I was like, "Well, maybe."
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I literally the next day I was like shopping for different pants because I was like, I can't do that. So.
Interesting. Where do you think your like sense of style comes from? Because obviously, I mean, we were in the parking lot at church the other day, and Papa was like,
that was so interesting.
Mad compliments.
I was like, especially because I was wearing ripped jeans to church.
Right.
I was like, oop. Okay.
Right. You're like, bet. Thanks.
But I don't know. I really don't know. I guess Pinterest, but I don't. I know I grew up on Pinterest, so it's just a lot of that. But I like 90s fashion. I like baggy clothes. And then more like neo with like the greens and the earthy tones. So. Yeah.
But does that come from like the movies you watched growing up? The things that like mom and dad had on the screens? Like where do you think that comes from?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah, just kind of like I like this.
I think it's more towards music.
Okay.
Like I feel like my style, like the vibes, like if my clothes were to have like a vibe frequency, it'd be the same frequency as the music I listen to.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like how people, I totally forgot what it's called, but it's how people can hear colors.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same, frequencies, waves, and vibes.
And that's so funny you say that, because I equate a lot of things to colors. I don't have whatever that is, but like,
I forgot what it's called.
A lot of like,
that's a word.
I'll be listening to something, I'm like, oh, this gives me like a purple vibe, like more like a vibe, if that makes sense. And I kind of think like if I were to make a music video, what the colors would be. So that's kind of what I do. But yeah.
What are some lessons that you're learning as you're growing up and getting older in relation to like family and relationships in general?
It's hard to manage everything because I don't know. I've become the person who's always busy, and I feel bad, because like obviously family comes first. So like it stresses me out when I have to work and you guys have like family events. I'm like, sure. Or like dad's birthday,
Right.
I was like, dang, because I couldn't get the day off. But but it's just like managing every relationship and making sure I'm like talking to people and connecting all the time. So like, I haven't heard you from a week, and I was like, oh. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Does and that it seems like it comes from a place of love. I think somebody can maybe do the same actions that comes from a sense of like anxiety about what the other person thinks of me. Right? Mm-hmm. It's like oh, they're gonna hate me because I haven't followed up in a week, and so I have to call them and I have to do this. Where it's like, no, if it's not coming from a place of love and understanding from them, then that may be a little more like, oh, that's something for them to work out.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to try, obviously. Yeah. Right. And there's
that's
reasons.
where it's at, because like even right now, I'm so bad.
We can bleep stuff out.
No. I asked her, she was recently watching Naruto.
Yeah.
And I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I love Naruto. I was like, what episode are you on? And I would see her text, but like I get so stressed to reply. I don't know why. So there's a few people I have in my phone right now where it's been a week and I haven't replied.
Right.
Because like, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just stressful to send the text. I don't know. I don't know why I'm like that, but it's just.
It's like a weird anxiety.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just stressing me out to reply. It's
never personal.
Yeah, no.
It's never personal. And I have the same thing that comes up often too.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know why.
Yeah. Just like,
I don't know where that comes from.
And I'm very an in-person person.
Yeah.
I'm bad at texting. Everyone knows. Yep. So.
But the worst are phone calls.
Oh,
I worst. Actually prefer. Really?
Yeah, because like at least it's one and done, and I don't have to like do anything.
Fair.
Or like wait for a reply.
Right.
So I'd rather just call and like have it over with.
Do you mind like unsolicited phone calls?
I don't get
people calling like out of nowhere.
I don't get those.
Really?
Yeah, I know, because a lot of my friends aren't callers.
Okay.
So the only one. Like, Dad called me last night, and I started freaking out because I was asleep. I was like, oh, no, because he never calls.
Yeah, never. I got the same thing, too. On Snapchat or whatever.
Snap, chat. Too, but he called me regularly.
Oh, really?
Like, just a regular phone call. Yeah. So I, like, shouted out in my sleep. I was like, hello?
Oh,
and
he
was like, oh, I was just calling to see if you're okay. I was like, oh, okay.
Like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Thanks.
He's like, were you asleep? I was like, yeah. And I was like, I don't know. I was like disassociating because I was still kind of sleepy and like in my dream.
Right.
I was just like, oh, it was so weird.
Yeah. So. That was so funny because it pulled up the Snapchat group chat and he was like, hey, just want to see how you guys are doing.
Yeah. It's just like,
okay. Which is like totally like it's fine, but it's so funny.
It's just weird because like
because that's not how he shows up for us.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not how Dad typically shows up for us.
So that's good.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe that just means I need to call him more. Maybe he's lonely or something.
Yeah.
Or just, maybe we should just call more.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe.
Because I was so scared something happened. And that just shouldn't be my reaction.
It shouldn't be it. So. It shouldn't be it. But yeah, I mean, what time was it? Like 9:30?
No, it was like 12:30. And usually I'm up.
Midnight?
Well, it's because I work late. Like I get off at 9.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm usually, I'm usually the one who's always like, up until like 2.
Goodness. So. But he lonely at 12:30?
Well, no. I think he's just making sure. Well, he was like, just making sure you got home safe.
Okay.
Like, yeah, okay. But they don't do that. Like, Mom will do it sometimes.
Right.
Or she'll text. But it's just so weird coming from Dad. I was like, yeah, I'm good. So maybe he had like
a conversation or something. Yeah. But how do you what have you taken away from them being empty nesters now? Like what are your observations of that? Because I don't even know if I really consider it empty nest. I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah.
It's like quasi. Because we're there relatively
like
regularly.
Every Sunday. And
plus.
Shania's always there.
Yeah.
And she stays for like long durations of time.
Right.
But I think it's going to hit them harder next year. Because I wouldn't even say I was fully moved out when I was my first year in the dorms. Because I was there like every weekend for like 3 days a week. Right. So, I think next year is really going to be because Shania's we're getting the condo.
Right.
So she's going to be like really out. So I don't know. I think it's kind of the same for me. You know? Mm-hmm. I don't really know. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like, and I've just had conversations with Mom, but it seems like there's almost a, like a re-identificate, like they have to re-identify themselves almost.
Yeah.
Like it's getting there. You can tell that it is approaching. But they have to like re-identify themselves as like these caretakers for these people. And now it's like, oh, our people are out of the house. Mm-hmm. But they're still like kind of.
Yeah, they are. Because the amount of times I was like, well, I'm going to leave today. And Mom's like, maybe you shouldn't. And yada, yada, yada. And I was like, you're right.
Right.
So I don't know. It's interesting.
It is interesting.
But I don't know. Because I think it's good for them because Mom's going out more, you know. And Mom never goes out, you know. So she's kind of going out. And I hope she parties a little more, you know. And then reconnect with old friends. So I think that'd be good for her, too. Dad has 3 jobs, though.
Yeah, I know. I do understand it. It's good. He's on his hustle and his grind. And then I see him. I see that empowers him a little bit more.
Yeah. I think it's good because he likes them.
Yeah.
And he gets recognized at Amazon, so.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like every month, there's like some award for something, which is cool.
He be coming home with merch. I'm like, I've been there for a year and a half, and all I've gotten is a water bottle.
Right.
Like, all my shirts are from him and everything.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, I love it. Didn't
he get the Google Nest from them?
He did. He got the Google Nest. And then he's also killing it. He had like all those points from his other job. Comedy.
Oh my goodness.
Comedy.
But that's how you do it.
I mean, yeah, you do. I mean, you work hard, you grind. And then, like I said, even like at home, it seems like he's just empowered. Like he's evolving. And that just comes with age, like, you know, growing up and stuff. But yeah. How did you like growing up with younger parents? It may not be as wild for you. For me, it was crazy. But
really?
Well, because mom and dad had me at 19, 20. And so I always had the youngest parents of my friends.
So I didn't come till 4 years later. So mine were like average, I feel.
Yeah.
Because they were, by the time I was in school, they were like in their 30s.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because like growing up, for me, it was so interesting because all the kids around me, their parents had them at like 30, 35. Oh, okay. So in 40s? And so they're already established. And so it becomes this thing where like, you know, you already have established parents, and my parents were like growing up and almost like chasing that, right? At that point, that hustle, they were in their hustle and their grind versus like they hadn't caught stride yet.
Right.
And so I wouldn't say a lot of identity came from that and having young parents, but I think for me, it's been interesting almost growing up with mom and dad.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Kind of. Yeah.
I could see that.
Have you ever thought of that?
Not for you. I don't know, because I feel like they were more established when. Because I remember Country Gables. Yeah. But only like I was a kid, you know, like I wasn't really observant about what was going on.
Right.
And then by the time like we were at Vanderveen, but even there, like I wasn't really understanding what was going on.
Did you have like a lot of memories? Like your memories start in Vanderveen, like really. Like a lot of them, the majority? Majority
are in Vanderveen. But I have, like, my earliest memories. Like, I remember the Country Gables house. Right. But most of it, I would say my growing up house was Vanderveen. And then, like, and because we moved when I was in 5th grade. To Tukey. To Tukey. Yeah. So, isn't that crazy?
That's so wild.
Right?
That's
so,
such
like,
a trip.
So, like, I have, like, half of my, that's how I kind of, like, split up my... Growing up was like Vanderveen up until 5th grade, and then like middle school, high school was Tukey.
That's crazy. Because for me, and I haven't thought about it, but for me, we moved from Country Gables to Copa when I was in 3rd grade. Okay. And then to Tukey when I was a sophomore in high school.
Oh wow, that's weird. That's like.
So I'd like just driven to my first day of school.
Wow.
Or like was I able to drive? No, my first day of school was my first day of sophomore year. Or first day in Tukey was my first day of sophomore year.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which was like a significant
That's
memory,
still wild, but though, wild. Like high school? I guess so.
It's weird to think about. It's weird to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because like everyone lived in Tukey, you know what I mean? So like your first, well, even for you, like in middle school and stuff, like I couldn't imagine not living in Ahwatukee.
Totally. What was really interesting about that, I think, was that it made me have to really secure a really good group of guy friends, like a really good group of friends, because because how do I make sense of this? So like at the house, either mom and dad were gone and you guys were almost too young of sisters, right?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
to
growing
bring
up.
People
to grow up. So like for like
okay.
not a relationship, but like to play with, right? Like we didn't have same interests and you guys were 5+ years younger than me. And then, you know, I would go to school and everybody at school lived 45 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
So it almost made me in the way. I remember it was beelining for really close group of friends that I could go over and have a play date with once a week, you know, every other week. And so I think that's why Dalton and KJ have stayed, is because it's like, those are my boys that I've known since 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Right. Kindergarten even.
Yeah.
KJ says 2nd grade. I don't remember 2nd grade. I think it's 3rd grade. KJ for sure was kindergarten, or Dalton for sure was kindergarten. But yeah. So what it just forced me to really bank on like really close group of friends.
That makes sense.
Like growing up, because I wasn't playing with the kids in my neighborhood. You know,
in Saxon.
until we got to Copa.
Yeah.
And then it was flag football with Saxon.
Oh, that's right. Oh. Wait, how till 3rd grade you're in Vanderveen?
No, I was at Country Gables. So it was
That's
like,
crazy.
you know, either mom and dad were away at work because dad worked nights, mom worked days.
Right.
And then,
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a trip, isn't it? Up
I've
until
never thought
3rd
of
grade.
3rd grade.
And then it wasn't until, you know, 5th, 6th, 7th grade is when we started playing like flag football and stuff.
Okay.
And that's when Saxon was a couple doors down from us. Yeah, and then I never played, like I didn't hang out oftentimes with the kids that I went to school with up until I moved to Ahwatukee. You know, until sophomore year of high school, and could drive and stuff often.
Okay.
Every now and then, but very interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess living far away, I don't know, because I kind of had the same experience. Like, I didn't actually have friends until middle school. Like, I had some friends, like Jazzy came over.
Yeah.
Once. And I
For
think
sure.
it was her and then this girl named Hannah. They're the only two people in elementary school who've ever come over.
Yeah.
So, but it was even like, I don't know, because like you always hear about like play dates and stuff.
Right.
And that just wasn't a thing for me.
Right.
Like, I didn't even go over people's houses really at all. So
was that because like mom and dad are like,
I think mom and dad.
Yeah.
But also like I never really, like, I had a different best friend each year.
Oh, okay.
And then some years I just didn't have one.
Right.
Up until middle school, and that's where I met Jamila Princess. And then 2 other people.
Do you think that's right? And then do you think that's because you and Shania were so close?
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
That, like, you kind of got that void of a friend filled.
Yeah, I guess I didn't need it at
with
home.
sisterhood. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. I didn't need it at home. I just didn't have friends at school. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
How was that, growing up with a little sister that was a year below you?
I don't really know. I guess it was nice. It was because you always had someone there, you know? Like, it didn't matter if I didn't really have friends because, you know, I had Naya.
Right.
And that was kind of up until high school. That's kind of where I was at. And I think it wasn't so much for me relying on her. I think a lot of it was her relying on me.
And you have that responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Which is fine, but I don't know. I guess it's nice. It's nice to always have someone to lean on. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. Now that you put it that way, that kind of shocked my brain because I forgot.
About what?
Like I forgot. Like, sorry.
You're good. You can grab water if you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you know how you drink milk. It happens every time.
Wait,
like,
what?
Like you drink milk and then you build up mucus. And then I'll just be like coughing and it's like all gargly and I was like, I swear I'm not sick. And I don't know. Does that not happen to you?
To be fair, I don't drink a lot of milk. I have a little like MCT oil creamer in there that's like super light. I'll do a couple splashes.
Switch to that.
Yeah, I'll show it to you afterwards.
With oat milk, and it happens like oat milk isn't even like
It's not
so,
lactose.
like, I don't get why that happens. Maybe my body
lactate.
just doesn't like the word milk.
Yeah, maybe not. What? That's interesting.
But
it just like builds up.
Yeah, it builds up, and then I have to like cough it out because it's like gargle. But it like
Can you use the restroom?
No, it's not bad. It's like gargly. Like
yeah.
I don't know. It causes it
builds up. I got
anyways.
you. I'm weak. So what shocked your brain?
Just like that, like
Dynamic.
I didn't really need a friend because I had Shania at home. Mm-hmm. I just didn't realize that. But that makes a lot of sense as to like why I grew up the way I was, and like and why I was so selective with friendships, because I think I had Shania set a standard. I was like, Shania's a ride or die. I need another friend like a ride or die.
Right.
So I think that like raised my expectation of what I wanted a friend to be, and that's kind of unfair to other people because like I live with her 24/7. You know, of course she's gonna be a ride
twin.
or die.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah.
For all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Do you feel like you've like unraveled that a little bit now? So like with people, like you allow people to kind of be this less than serious of a twin, but like still like a really good friend.
Yeah, and I think I try not to like. I've come to the conclusion that people aren't going to be there forever, and I think that was like something, because like growing up, I had you and Dalton as an example, and like they've been friends since kindergarten. Am I going to find my friend in kindergarten and grow up with them? But that just didn't happen. So like I was like, I'm falling behind. Sure. So I've never had like an outside person really as like a friend like that. And I don't know, I guess I relied on it a lot. Like if I make a friend, they're going to be with me forever. But I've learned that like, you know, people are here for certain moments for this thing, and once they go away, that's okay. So I've been able to kind of like just let go, you know, with some people in my life, which is for the better.
Oftentimes it is.
Yeah. So, you know, moving on, progressing. And then I've made new friends. My friend group right now is pretty solid because we've been friends forever, and we're kind of like, we don't keep up forever, but we understand like we each have different lives, and when we're together, we're together.
Right. So. Right. Yeah. Same thing for me. And it's like not being stressed or like overreaching myself to be like, hey, let's hang out, let's do
exactly.
But like, hey, let's let things naturally flow and come and go as they ought to, and they should. Yeah, it's very, very, very important.
Yeah, that's definitely how we are.
Yeah.
Because like we'll like not text each other for like 3 months, and then we'll go on a week of like FaceTiming every night, and then just not talk to each other again for like 3 months. It's just like a continuous cycle. And whenever someone's in town, we're like, oh my god, we gotta hang out.
Right.
And then we hang out once, but then like if we don't talk for the next like 2 or 3 weeks, it's like fine. It's fine. And we're all still really close. So. And
then when you guys get together, you can just.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, you can just go. Yeah, mom and dad have a couple of friends like that too, which is a good example. Which is a really good example. That's hilarious. Yeah. That's hilarious. What was it like being my little sister?
I thought it was cool, honestly, because I remember like my earliest memory of being like, hi, I have an older brother is when we went to school together. That's my favorite time. Even though I don't remember much, you were like in 5th grade and I was in kindergarten. Yeah. And you played football and I was like, that's my brother.
Yeah.
And just like, I don't know, I feel like having an older brother had a lot of influence on like my personality. Where like we grew up around sports and stuff, so you know I naturally developed a like, you know, sports and stuff. Even like your fashion sense, like, you know, the button downs and stuff. I started wearing like your button downs and shorts. I think Shania and I very much grew up tomboyish because we took after you a lot. Okay. So I think that's where that came from.
That's funny. That's not what those old 10-year photos say.
Oh, which one?
You know the photos that mom and dad are always pulling up off the computer?
Bad.
They're so funny. They're so funny.
Well, the thing is, the early ones. Yeah. Because they dressed me up until I was in 3rd grade. Yeah, and then I was like, I want to do everything myself. And then this started looking crusty. And now I feel like just as of like maybe the last 5 years, I've gotten myself together. It was so bad.
I look at those photos. And
I used to complain. I'm like, why don't guys like me? And I was like, weak. Oh, I look like that.
I'm weak.
With the swooping.
The swooping.
It was so bad. But yeah.
That's too funny.
Also, I was talking to Mom about this. It was so funny because it was like a random memory. But like, I grew up, you know how we grew up straightening our hair a lot. I've never really liked my hair straight. I remember I had a rude awakening in 3rd grade for some reason. It was like when I branched out from like independence and just a lot of thought process. I feel like my brain just like maybe grew a little somewhere. And I was just more conscious of self. If that makes sense. But we would straighten our hair a lot, and I would never like it straight, but I always liked how curly it was when it came out the shower. And I think the reason why I liked it curly and thought it was pretty is because when I was little, one time I had just gotten out the shower and I was in my clothes, and I was like, AJ, what do you think of my hair? And you're like, I like it like that. You should wear your hair more like that. And I was like, oh. And I think ever since then I've been liked my curly hair. I think it was like a subconscious thing, like, oh, curly hair is pretty because my brother thinks it's pretty. And like, well, I don't want to equate like brother to guys, but guys think curly hair is pretty. So like, I don't know. I feel like subconsciously I've always liked my curly hair better because you said you liked it.
Interesting. Yeah. No, 100%. Okay. That's deep. No, it's very deep.
So I think it's cool. I still love my curly hair. Obviously, you know. It's kind of crusty today.
It's the cap. That's it. That's crazy.
But yeah, isn't that weird?
It just goes to speak the power of words. Right. That's huge. Because it's even that like one little thing. You know
I really think that's where it started. Because after then, because I never really thought about it. But then again, I've never really liked how I looked with it straight.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Because you don't do it. Like, when was the last time you straightened your hair?
It's actually, it was pretty recent. It was this summer. But before then, because of the cotillion, we did the cotillion, I straightened it. But
95% of the time you have the curls.
Yeah. I think I went for like a 5 or 6 year span of not straightening it.
That crazy. Makes sense. That's wild. What else? What other things would like shock my brain, as you put it, of like growing up as Skia's little sister? I'm curious to know.
What else?
Because that's kind of like a mirror, and I mean, it may help me also understand, and either one of us understand, like how to interact with people better. I don't know. I guess creativity. I feel like as a family though, we're kind of be yourself, just express. But like creeping a creative atmosphere, like even your apartment, you know. So I feel like that's kind of ricocheting, you know. And that's played off a little bit too, like in your own, like when you get your own space and your own like routines and stuff. Yeah. The music you listen to.
Yeah, I think my music is a lot like yours too, or branched from yours. Well, we know I'm now rediscovering your old music. right. But maybe like music taste.
Yeah.
What else? I don't really know. I think those are the big things that I can remember.
What about what are some things that that I can do better as a brother? Like moving forward.
I don't really know. I feel like you're here most of the time, you know, whenever we need help.
Nothing. I'm perfect. I'm a perfect brother, you guys see. I'm a perfect brother. I'm perfect. You see?
I don't know.
Cap, but
I really don't know.
Yeah, maybe in off time in another conversation we can.
Yeah. I can't think of anything now. If it comes up, I'll tell you.
If it comes up, let me know.
I'm like, AJ, you need to stop doing this.
You need to stop, or you need to do this, or not do this, whatever it may be. That's hilarious. But cool. I'm trying to think what else. What other things I was curious about Ashaya. What do you do in your free time?
I'm starting to read a lot more.
Really?
Yeah. Just non-educational books.
Like fantasy?
Yeah, I've now started like the fantasy realm. I was really against it for a long time. I've stuck to like kind of like modern settings. Yeah. But I've entered fantasy realm, and they're really fun. Like the adventures that go on and everything are really fun. Dance of Thieves is a great book.
Dance of Thieves.
Yeah, if you wanna, it's a great book.
It's like romance novels and stuff.
Yeah, that one's a romance fantasy.
Okay.
Young adventure kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really good.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of
So just reading a lot more.
Yeah, and then I love audiobooks too, because then I could like drive and listen to them.
Yeah.
And then like clean my room and listen to them.
Because like, how much do you think you spend in gas a month driving to and from work? In general,
I fill up every week.
Gosh.
And it's about $35 to $40.
That's not too bad.
So
that's not too bad. I have a homie.
It could be worse.
Could be way worse. I have a homie who lives in Tukey, drives to like North Scottsdale for work virtually every day. And yeah, he's dropping like 300, 350.
Yeah, because I only have to go in like 4 times a day. Or
yeah,
4 times a week.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, no, I couldn't imagine doing that every single day. That would suck.
It'd be brutal. It'd be brutal.
But yeah.
So what else? What's next for Ashaya?
School. I have to do a research experimental project, which will be interesting. So that's gonna take me all semester, and then that's about it. Just getting good grades, because last semester was not it. So doing better this semester. My schedule's more manageable.
That's good.
And then going out more.
Yeah.
Got my Fridays off now. So.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. Well, thanks for coming through. Any last words that you want to send to the people, myself, what have you? Any last thoughts?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't really have any.
Yeah, it's weird. Thanks for coming. It was fun.
No problem.
Good stuff. Love you.
Love you too. Peace out.
Peace. Good stuff.